If you have a small business or you starting a small business, you have bad credit, sometimes you may have to consider taking out a personal loan. Okay. And I have some other lenders as well. But the first one we're talking about, firstcashadvance.org. Okay. And now with them, they loan almost in every state. Okay, they have some type of payday loan, installment loan. They have just different types of loans here, right? But at the same time, they actually give you a breakdown. Now here, from 500 to 1,000, that's on the payday loan, but you can see it's very high. But if you decide to go with an installment loan, and yes, as an entrepreneur, you just starting your business up, they do work with you. Okay, so just keep that in mind. So from 1,000 to 5,000, then that personal loan, you can go up to $10,000 or more to consolidate debt. Now, here's the thing about it. I always tell people with these type of lenders, of course, the interest rates is going to be high because you have bad credit, right? But the good part about it is that in terms of when they're checking the credit, they're not doing a hard pull on your regular credit. And I'll show you what I mean in a minute. The next lender we're talking about is Giggle Finance. As you can see here, and I talk about Giggle Finance in my other videos, is that they can loan you up to $5,000, right? Now, here's the thing about it. I want to show you all so you understand. It's no credit requirement. So you can have bad credit. They don't care. What they care about is, do you have revenue coming in? Now, I would tell you the minimum revenue that you need to have when dealing with Giggle Finance, I would say between $1,200 to $1,500 a month. Okay, so these are like merchant cash advance. So of course, the interest rates is going to be much higher, but at the same time, when you can't borrow from the banks and credit unions, you need money to get your car fixed, or you may need money to buy supplies and stuff. This is the best place to go. Now, they definitely tell you in terms of who would qualify for their loans here. So you have app-based freelancers, then you have small businesses, then you have independent contractors, sellers, and finance and franchises, right? But one of the things that really stick out for a lot of people, when we have a recession going on in our economy, a lot of people run to these MLMs, right? Well, guess what? They actually offer loans for MLMs. So that's a good thing to know. Now, in terms of what are the real criterias, you have to be in the gig economy for at least 90 days or show proof you have revenue coming in for at least 90 days. You do not have to be a registered business. So that's a very good thing. You can be a DBA and still get qualified, right? But again, like I was telling you about the income between $1,200 and $1,500 a month, and they may use decision logic to actually see if those revenues are actually in your bank account. Okay, so you do have to have an active bank account. The next lender we're going to be talking about is Landeska. Now, Landeska is a platform, and as you can see here, it's for small businesses. So they do accounts receivable, business lines of credit, business acquisition loan, business term loan. Now, the one you're actually going to be looking at, especially when you have bad credit, you're going to be looking at the freelance cash advance, okay? Because this is the easiest one for you to get approved for, okay? And as you can see, they go up to $20,000. They give you up to 18 months. You can actually be funded within 24 hours. And the interest rates are about starting at about 20%. Now, here's the criteria so you can understand that the minimum is $25,000 annually. So that's about 2150, right? And so the income, excuse me, the credit card is minimum of 550, and you have to be in business for at least 90 days, 3 months, right? Now, here's the thing about it, because you may not meet this $25,000 threshold, that may not be the case that they will disqualify you. Okay, this is just some of their basic criteria. Some people may only can get up to $5,000 or less. All right. So they usually try to work with you to see if they can find something to accommodate you. All right. And so if you're not able to get along with them, the next lender we want to talk about is Fundo. Okay. And so I talk about Fundo a lot because they are a merchant cash advance. And so we all are aware that them being a merchant cash advance, the interest rates is definitely going to be much higher, right? And so they go up to $10,000. And as you can see, in terms of who they work with, freelancers, contractors, small businesses, and sellers as well. So that's not a bad situation. The only thing about it, like if you're in New York or California, they won't be able to help you. Now, here's the thing about it. I was telling you, they don't do a hard pull on the credit, right? However, they may use the third-party credit bureaus. Like the third-party credit bureaus, what I'm referencing to is like Teletrack. So if you've ever taken out a loan online and stuff, they may look at that data to see if you filed bankruptcy, if you've taken out a loan, didn't pay it back with one of their subsidiaries or something like that. Or they may use Clarity, right, which is owned by Experian. Teletrack, by the way, is owned by Equifax. Clarity is owned by Experian. All right, so they may use these here financial credit bureaus, and yes, you can get a copy of your credit report from these financial credit bureaus. And one of them that's most notorious is LexisNexis. Okay, so they may pull their data from Lexis as well. All right, so just keep that in mind when you're applying for these loans. You say, well, they don't want to work with me. It may be because there may be something on your financial credit file that you're not aware of. Here's one lender I tell people about it, which is Yendo. So if you have a car, right, with equity in it, it doesn't matter if you paid the car off or you're making payments on it, Yendo may be able to qualify you. And as you can see here, usually takes about 2 minutes up to $10,000. All credit scores welcome. So you can actually do a pre-approval if you own a car. Like I tell people, hey, you may have a family member that's no longer driving or whatever that may have a car with some equity in it that you may be able to negotiate you getting title of the car or having them to take a loan out to help you jumpstart your business. If they believe in your business, they have to believe in your business to be willing to do something like that. But that's not a bad situation. Then you also have, and I always tell people, don't forget about Capital One. Capital One is very good when you have bad credit and you're trying to jumpstart your business. All right. Long as you have a 580 credit score. Now, a lot of people get hung up on Capital One because they think that, well, I had an account with them in the past. I don't think they'll work with me. And that's not true. It's been many a times where Capital One, even though you made a bad decision on the personal side and didn't cover your debts with Capital One on the personal side, that may not disqualify you to get their business credit card. Okay, so don't disqualify yourself with Capital One. Usually, I've seen people start at $2,000-$3,000. Okay, and like I said, with getting qualified for this card is a 580. Now, one of the things you definitely have to keep in mind is that this here business credit card, yes, it does report both on the business and personal side. Okay, but I just wanted to point out some resources to you so you can take in consideration if you're going to be trying to keep your business going and you just need a few dollars, or you're trying to jumpstart your business. These are probably the best resources for people with bad credit. So I hope this helps you, and I'll see you in the next video.